Hi, Harsh. Um,
Hi, Rashmi.
so, thank you so much for doing this video debrief today, and a big, big, big congratulations on your stellar 705 with the wonderful D85, Q87, and V83. Uh,
Thank you.
what an achievement! And it comes with the backdrop of you having scored a 595 in your cold mock. So, an amazing 110-point improvement. Uh, it's a brilliant, brilliant improvement, I would say, from where you started out. As I said, 595 was your first cold mock score, in which you got a V79, Q79, and a D80, right?
Mhm.
Um, and having worked with you personally, I know you followed a very structured approach, starting with the diagnostic mock, followed by study plan, and following a very structured approach to your preparation. And we will talk about that during our discussion today. Um, but I think what I want to start today's discussion with is your stellar uh, data insight score, which is D85, which is the 99th percentile.
Mhm.
What an improvement, what an achievement. So tell me, Harsh, how did you go about preparing for DI?
So for DI, like the more questions I solved on eGMAT Scholaranium, that was very helpful to me.
Mm-hmm,
The main issue while going through the questions, I realized like there were a lot of information, there were a lot of charts, graphs, new kind of thing, like
mm-hmm,
mixed of content verbal, which you
mm-hmm,
need to digest. So solving more questions helped me to get accustomed with that. Okay, like how
mm-hmm,
should I go with managing time to solving a particular kind of question? So I think
mm-hmm.
that really helped me to get familiar with the question types.
Got it, got it. So you essentially majority of your DI prep has been on eGMAT, right?
Yep, yep.
It's mostly been on eGMAT. So tell me, how did the course actually, yes, you said Scholaranium as such, but what are the areas that it really helped you in?
So if I talk about course, like it very first helped me to understand what are the different kind of questions I can expect. Like for example, there
Mm-hmm,
is graphical interpretation, two-part analysis, MSRs,
mm-hmm,
data sufficiency. So the course actually helped me like to get accustomed what kind of questions you can expect. Like if I
mm-hmm,
talk about TPA, there can be a quant type of question. There can be a
mm-hmm,
verbal kind of questions.
mm-hmm,
So all these different kinds of questions, the course helped me like to understand, okay, these are the different types of questions you can
mm-hmm,
face.
mm-hmm,
So that's where the course helped me. And post
mm-hmm,
that, the practice, the questions I solved,
mm-hmm.
those
Okay.
helped me to cement those understandings.
Got it. So I have something to show our viewers here, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we say, when I spoke about the structured approach that you followed, which was essentially building a foundation followed by that practice,
Mm-hmm.
and when I look at your course attempts, this shows the kind of diligence with which you did the course and the amount of effort that you spent in building that foundation. As we can see, your grades here in TPA are all A. That
Mm-hmm.
means that you were already in the top 15% when it comes to course attempts. So it was like taking the right step towards success, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the the effect of this is something that we can see here in your hard question accuracy, wherein in TPA it was a 70%, which is really, really brilliant. It is 90th plus percentile right out there. So
Mm-hmm.
this goes to prove that, you do need that kind of a very focused approach wherein you take all the right steps towards getting there. And
Right.
a big congratulations to you on doing that. And as they say, the proof is in the pudding, and it is in that D85 that you got. Uh, and now coming to Quant, Harsh,
Mm-hmm.
you started out at a Q79,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and you improved by 8 points to a Q87 on your actual test, which
Mm-hmm.
ideally should have been an 88 plus, but for certain test taking issues that happened on that particular day. But
Mm-hmm.
what an improvement! So tell me, as in, I know that again in the course you use the pace feature, which
Mm-hmm.
helped you save over 50 hours of your prep time. So how did this particular feature help you in quants?
Right. So, talking about quant, like being from an engineering background, I was very much familiar with most of the concepts.
Mm-hmm.
So, going through the entire thing again won't make much of a sense. So, their
Mm-hmm.
pace actually helped me to like go through the certain things which are crucial, and like
Mm-hmm.
there I saved a lot of time. Like
Mm-hmm.
I skipped those contents like which I was very familiar with and just do the diagnostic quizzes to identify, okay, what are my weaker areas and where I can improve.
Mm-hmm.
So, their
Mm-hmm.
actually pace helped me.
Got it. So, just to show you, I'm sure you would have noticed this when you're doing the course, but as I said, you saved close to 52 hours of your prep time during, quant prep, and in algebra alone, as you can see, you've saved close to 14 hours.
Hmm.
And this is what, diagnostic mock and the amount of the number of files that you skipped is
Right.
amazing. And I think, when you are a working professional and um, hard stretched for time any which ways, every hour
Mm.
saved is an hour gained, which you
Right.
can spend on your weaker sections, right? That's really nice. And Harsh, I also know that we're just having a discussion around what other aspect of quant course really helped you, and you spoke about the Scholaranium questions and how they set you up for whatever kind of difficult questions you encountered during the test. So, can you tell us a bit more in detail about that?
Right. So in quant, like I was familiar with most of the concepts, but
Mm-hmm.
while giving the tests and while attempting the quizzes on Scholaranium, I realized like the main issue lies in careless mistakes. Like the kind of analytics we have on Scholaranium helped me to identify the kind of mistakes I'm making on the platform is more related to careless mistake. So
Mm-hmm.
the thing which I identified and tried to correct that, being
Mm-hmm.
very careful while attempting a question, not let overconfidence come in the way
Mm-hmm.
that okay, this is an easy question. So that is something which it helped me to identify. And again, the kind of questions we have on Scholarinium are very good level questions. They are hard questions, medium
Mm-hmm.
questions, which are very much in line with the actual GMAT exam. And in fact, when you actually go to give the exam, you will feel like most of these questions I've already done and they are like so easy, I can do it easily. So that is
Uh-huh.
the kind of confidence you will have on the exam. So that's great.
Yeah. So I remember you telling that you were done with your quant test within 35 minutes, right?
Yep, yep.
So okay. So that was due to the ease with which you were able to solve the questions thanks to your
Exactly.
practice.
After solving all those questions, the kind of questions I faced on the exam, they seem like pretty straightforward and
Mm-hmm.
so I saved a lot of time there and I had sufficient time to go through the all the questions to review them. Yep.
Got it, got it. That's really nice. Now that we're speaking about Scholaranium, I know that you used quite a bit of the data analytical platform on
Mhm.
Scholaranium. You use the data analytics to say identify certain areas of improvement. So can you take our viewers through what value did that data analytics play in your prep, and how did you go about using it?
Sure. Initially, when I started preparing, all those do not make sense to me. Like, what are these last 10 questions?
Mm-hmm,
What I'm going to do with the accuracy or and like how to make sense of the
mm-hmm,
analytics which we have on that platform. But when I started working with you guys and like how you were like identifying those, okay, your accuracy has gone from 50% to 40%. Why is that? Okay,
mm-hmm,
the problem lies in the hard questions. So the way we get deeper into those analytics, the more we are able to identify where the actual problem lies. For
mm-hmm,
example, if I talk about data insights, while solving, I realized, okay, somewhere my strength lies in data sufficiency questions and I'm lacking in graphical interpretation questions.
mm-hmm.
So we do a more focused practice on that. So I think
Yeah.
their analytics helped me to identify where I should put more time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is actually wonderful. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
hmm Okay. So here I think then again there is this wonderful graph that I came across from your Scholaranium, the data, a bit of it. So here we can see that in TPA, right, you started out at a 61% accuracy for hard questions, which dipped, right? And
Hmm.
when we saw that dip is when we intervened and we're like, we have to do something about TPA, figure out what's
Hmm.
going wrong and really build your TPA. And just that, figuring that out and fixing that improved the hard question accuracy to 87%. And 87% is a 98th, 99th percentile out there, right? So it's not just in the accuracy, but the fact that your overall time that you took to solve the questions also fell considerably by over, almost 40 seconds, which is really, really nice. Um, so that's brilliant. Now, I know that you also use the data analytic platform to really improve in your verbal. I know verbal,
Mhm.
there is still some work to be done, but when it comes to where you improve from your cold mock score from a 79 to an 83 is an amazing improvement. So tell
Right.
me, how did you go about doing that, and um, what role did the platform play in the same
So in verbal, basically, I got help in two things. The course structure we have there, like the CR pre-thinking approach and all that was very helpful. Like that gave me a structured approach to approach a particular problem. And if
thing?
we talk about the analytics part, like as I attempted the mocks, I kind of realized like I have some time management issues there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
those ESRs and all helped me to realize that, and we worked on that, which
Mm-hmm.
actually helped me to improve my verbal scores.
Got it. Got it. That's very nice. Now, as I said towards the beginning, let's circle back to the kind of structured approach that you took towards the preparation. You started with the mock, and then you created your personalized study plan. So tell me, what was the value of the diagnostic mock and the study plan that you created in the entire journey?
I think that was the most important part of my entire journey because that
Mm-hmm.
actually helped me to put in test like what actually I know better and where the
Mm-hmm.
work is needed to be done and how
Mm-hmm.
to improve it. So
Mm-hmm.
that really helped a lot. For
Mm-hmm.
example, if I talk about Quant itself,
Mm-hmm.
so while I was very familiar with most of the questions, I realized I was doing many careless mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
identifying those and then taking diagnostic quizzes to reducing those mistakes that I'm not making any careless mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So those actually helped me to go there.
Got it. Got it. And the study plan? The personalized
Yeah.
study plan that you created.
So the study plan helped me to do a structured preparation. The thing is like
Mm-hmm.
when like for example the LMP actually give me like okay I should give this much time on verbal, this is where I need to work on, so
Mm-hmm.
I should give this much time, so it was more of a structured approach, so that actually helped me to
Got it. Got it.
go.
Yeah. Now that you've spoken about LMP, we started working through the last mile push program towards once you're almost through data insights, right? That is
Mhm,
when we decided that a generic approach might not cut it anymore. What you need is a very, very specialized strategic approach to improvement.
mhm.
Can you tell our viewers the value that the last mile push program played in your journey towards improving your sport?
Right, so in LMP basically we worked on like the key issues which I was facing in exams. Like if we talk
Mm-hmm.
about verbal, we identified okay, like RC timing is something an issue. So we
Mm-hmm.
identified those key issues and like we worked on that. So
Mm-hmm.
that actually helped me to improve the scores like by one
Mm-hmm.
or 2 points, identifying the weaker areas and work on that. So that was more of a kind of cementing the scores and
Mm-hmm.
balancing it.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And I know that we created a sort of a day-wise plan for you.
Mhm,
Um, as a part of the Last Mile Push program, here is your smart sheet that you've used. And what is really nice about this is, yes, that there is the task-wise split of each milestone that you had to complete. But what makes this all the more amazing is when I see these greens, that is
mhm,
you achieved most of the milestones that were set out for you, the
mhm.
metrics, all of that. So how useful was this day-wise plan towards the end of your journey?
As I said, it helped me to follow a more structured approach instead of like doing, okay, I should do quant today, I should do verbal today.
Mm-hmm,
That won't
mm-hmm,
make any sense because the entire like GMAT is a strategic exam and we
mm-hmm,
need to do a strategic preparation,
mm-hmm,
identifying where we need to work, putting more time there, and how much impact it would have on my actual scores. So
mm-hmm,
doing a strategic preparation is always needed.
mm-hmm.
So that actually helped me to do a strategic preparation.
Got it, got it. And I think somewhere it also took away the burden of planning from you, right? Because you could
Right,
focus on what was important. You could focus on the preparation,
right,
on improvement, and not think about, okay, what do I need to do today? What do I need to do tomorrow? And
right,
I think especially in the last stages of preparation, that becomes super, super critical, right?
correct.
Now coming to the final days, as in the day, the test day,
Mhm.
right? So how was your um, mindset getting into the test? And if you could take us through, because I know you had some issues when you were, uh, you know, taking the quant part of the test. So if you
Mhm.
could take our viewers through the importance of the test day mindset and uh, what role it plays in a grade score.
Right. I think that is the very, very, very crucial part of the entire journey because that day
Mm-hmm.
you are going to perform and
Mm-hmm.
burdening yourself with all of your expectations that, okay, I have prepared for a 700 plus, 725, 735.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sets up like target for you that I think like in my case, it personally helped me to panic. Like it, I got panicked like, okay, I have to perform this much. So do
Mm-hmm.
not set that bar for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Be calm, like, okay, I have done my preparation. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to achieve it and
Mm-hmm.
just go with the flow. Like the kind of mistake I did, I would like to share that. I got panicked in the starting of the exam. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
what am I doing? Like the entire test center was a new thing for me. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a new environment, like where I was attempting a mock. So that kind of panicked me. And in the initial 5 to 10 minutes, I was completely blank. Like
Mm-hmm.
even the easy questions of quant like seemed very much
Mm-hmm.
tough to me. So
Mm-hmm.
take a deep breath and like try to calm yourself. The questions are easy. You can definitely do it, but you won't be able to do it if you're not in the right mindset. Like if
Mm-hmm.
your mind is not working. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something which is very important to keep cool and have faith in what you have done, your
Mm-hmm.
preparation and all.
That's
Yep,
true. Because I think everything that you could do, you have done till that particular day. The only
exactly.
way now you will be able to transform that to a good score is when you have that, calm, focused, and confident mindset. Uh,
Right.
so that's, I think, very nicely put. So yes, Harsh, it's been an amazing journey. It's a brilliant, brilliant improvement, and I know that you are still uh, going to give it another shot, wherein you have managed your mindset better this time around, right?
Mhm.
But if you have to look back at your journey of the last 2, 3 months, and if you have to share some of your key learnings from this journey to the other GMAT aspirants out there, what would they be?
So, like, let me talk about section wise. If I talk about quant, so people who are good with quant try to be very, very much careful about the careless mistakes you make because on the actual GMAT, the questions won't be that much hard. Like
Mm-hmm.
on the preparation time, we feel like, okay, I should solve this much hard questions and this is going to help very much. But for me, on the actual test, the one mistake which I did in quant was a very easy question. I solved it in 30 seconds and I was overconfident about it that I didn't review it and I
Mm-hmm.
got it wrong. And that cost me 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
somewhere if you are good in quant, the easy questions are going to hurt you much more if you are
Mm-hmm.
doing a careless mistake in that.
Mm-hmm.
So be very diligent about that. If I talk about DI, that is uh if you get yourself familiar with the kind of charts and graphs, the data that okay, there is going to be a lot of data.
Mm-hmm.
What data I need, what the specific data I need to answer this question, try to bring it to that level
Mm-hmm.
and do not panic on like initially I was getting panicked on seeing that much of data, but solve more and more questions, build your familiarity with that, like as you have
Mm-hmm.
done with the quant. Okay, if I'm seeing this question, I have to follow a structured approach.
Mm-hmm.
So then I think DI is also very much doable and you can do it. For verbal, I will say again build a structured approach because on the test day you will have a lot of pressure on your mind, and
Mm-hmm.
if you're just skimming through and like uh, guessing the options, you will get much of the questions wrong. So this is some
Mm-hmm.
one mistake which I did in verbal. Like in the pressure, I kind of rushed through like, okay,
Mm.
time management and all. So that is one thing you should be very careful about.
Got it. Got it. So A, understand your strengths, capitalize on them, and B, at any cost, have a proper structure to the way you approach a question, right?
Right.
So I think these are amazing points, and I'm sure people who are listening to this interview will, uh, take a big learning out of it, and hopefully they will make their prep all the more richer. Uh, so, Harsh, thank you so much for the time that you've taken to share your learnings with the other GMAT aspirants out there. I'm sure there are people who will benefit greatly from this. Thank you again, and all the very best for the next steps.
Thanks, Rashmi. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.